John Pombe Joseph Magufuli was the fifth president of Tanzania, serving from 2015 until his death in 2021. He served as Minister of Works, Transport and Communications from 2000 to 2005 and 2010 to 2015, and was chairman of Southern African Development Community from 2019 to 2020. First elected as a Member of Parliament in 1995, he served in the Cabinet of Tanzania as Deputy Minister of Works from 1995 to 2000, Minister of Works from 2000 to 2005, Minister of Lands and Human Settlement from 2006 to 2008, Minister of Livestock and Fisheries from 2008 to 2010, and as a Minister of Works for a second time from 2010 to 2015. Running as the candidate of Chama cha Mapinduzi (CCM), the country's dominant party, Magufuli won the October 2015 presidential elections and was sworn in on 5 November 2015. He was re-elected in 2020. He ran on a platform of reducing government corruption and spending while also investing in Tanzanian industries, but his rule had autocratic dependence as seen in restrictions on freedom of speech, restriction on LGBTQ rights, and a crackdown on members of political opposition and civil society groups. Despite all accusations, spokesman for ruling party assured that Magufuli would not remain in power beyond the two limits allowed by the constitution. Under his presidency, Tanzania experienced one of the strongest economic growth on the continent, 6% on average per year according to IMF, and moved from category of low income countries to lower middle income countries. Lower income countries to lower middle income countries. Contrary to leaders elsewhere in the world, Magufuli ordered COVID-19 testing to stop and resisted call to implement public health measures during the COVID-19 pandemic in Tanzania. He also expressed distrust of American and European developed vaccines, preferred to rely on first to protect his nation. Magufuli's approach has been characterized as COVID-19 denialism. His death on 17 March 2021 was attributed by the government to a long-standing heart issue. He was succeeded by his Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan. John Magufuli was born in 1959 in northwestern Tanzania, then Tanganyika, on the shores of Lake Victoria, into a poor family. He lived in a small, thatched house looking after the cattle and selling milk and fishes to support his family. Magufuli started his education at Chato Primary School from 1967 to 1974 and went on to the Katoke Seminary in Biharamulo for his secondary education from 1975 to 1977 before relocating to Lake Secondary School in 1977 and graduated in 1978. He joined the Kwawa High School for his advanced level studies in 1979 and graduated in 1981. That same year, he joined the Nkwawa College of Education, a constituent college of University of Dar es Salaam, for a diploma in education sciences, majoring in chemistry, mathematics, and education. Magufuli earned his Bachelor's of Science in Education degree, majoring in chemistry and mathematics as teaching subject from the University of Dar es Salaam in 1988. He also earned his master's degree and doctorate degree in chemistry from University of Dar es Salaam in 1994 and 2009 respectively. In late 2019, he was awarded an honorary doctorate by University of Dodoma for improving economy of the country. Magufuli ventured into elective politics after a short period as a teacher at the Sengerema Secondary School between 1982 and 1983. He taught chemistry and mathematics. Later on, he quitted his teaching job and was employed by the Nyanza Cooperative Union Limited as industrial chemist. He remained there from 1989 to 1995 when he was elected as a member of parliament representing Chato district. He was appointed deputy minister for works in his first term as MP. He retained his seat in the 2000 election and was promoted to full ministerial position under the same doctrine. After President Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete was requested to take office, he removed John Joseph Magufuli to the post of Minister of Lands and Human Settlement on 4th January 2006. Subsequently, he served as Minister of Livestock and Fisheries from 2008 to 2010 and again as Minister of Works from 2010 to 2015. On 12 July 2015, Magufuli was nominated as CCM presidential candidate for the 2015 election after winning a majority vote in the final round of primary over two opponents, Justice Minister and former United Nations Deputy Secretary General Asha Rosa Migiro and the African Union Ambassador to the United States Amina Salaam Ali. Although Magufuli faced a strong challenge from opposition candidate and the previous CCM political party member Edward Lowassa, in the election held on 25 October 2015, Magufuli was declared the winner by the National Electoral Commission (NEC) on 29 October. He received 58% of the votes. His running mate, Samia Suluhu, was also declared vice president. He was sworn in on 5 November 2015. In July 2020, Magufuli was nominated as CCM's presidential candidate in elections scheduled for October 2020. His nomination was not opposed after the expulsion from the party area in the year of Bernard Membe, a former foreign minister who had planned to challenge the nomination. He received the highest vote and was therefore elected to extend his presidency until 2025 for a second term. According to Al Jazeera, the election was marred by allegations of arrest of candidates and protesters, restrictions on agents of political parties to access polling stations, multiple voting, politicking of ballot, and widespread blocking of social media. A local elections watchdog group noted a heavy deployment of military and police, whose conduct created a climate of fear. Writing in the Journal of Democracy, political scientist Dan Page stated that the CCM sweep was an authoritarian landslide achieved through electoral manipulation that was unprecedented in both scale and audacity. This was accompanied by high level of violent oppression. After taking office, Magufuli immediately began to impose measures to curb government spending, such as barring unnecessary foreign travel by government officials, using cheaper vehicles and boardrooms for transport and meetings, respectively, shrinking the delegation for a tour of the Commonwealth from 50 people to 4, dropping its sponsorship of a World AIDS Day exhibition in favor of purchasing AIDS medication, banning officials from flying first class and business class, and discouraging lavishing events and parties by public institutions, such as cutting the budget of a state dining inaugurated the new parliamentary session. Magufuli reduced his own salary from 15,000 USD to 4,000 USD per month. Magufuli suspended the country's Independence Day festivities for 2015 in favor of a national cleanup campaign to help reduce the spread of cholera. He personally participated in the cleanup efforts, having stated that it was so shameful that we are spending a huge amount of money to celebrate 54 years of independence when our people are dying of cholera. The cost saving were to be invested in improving hospitals and sanitation in the country. On 10 December 2015, more than a month after taking office, Magufuli announced his cabinet. Its size was reduced from 30 ministers to 19 to help reducing costs. On 12 April 2016, Magufuli conducted his first foreign visit to Rwanda, where he met his counterpart Paul Kagame and inaugurated the new bridge and one-stop border post at Rusumo. Magufuli also attended the memorial of the 22nd anniversary of Rwandan genocide. In July 2016, Tanzania banned shisha smoking, with Magufuli citing its health effects among youth as the reason. In March 2017, Tanzania banned the export of unprocessed oils in an effort to encourage domestic smelting. In January 2018, Magufuli issued the directive ordering the suspension of registration for foreign merchant ships following recent incidents surrounding the seizure of overseas shipments of illegal goods, particularly drugs and weapons, being transported under the flag. Tanzania and Zanzibar had gained reputations for being flags of convenience. In the same year, Magufuli introduced a free education for all government schools in 2016 without paying fees. The country has amended the laws governing the award of mining contracts, giving itself the right to negotiate or terminate them in the event of proven frauds. The new regulation also removes the right of mining companies to resort to international arbitration. The tax dispute with Acacia Mining, accused of having significantly undervalued its gold production for years, finally resulted in an agreement. Tanzania obtained 16% of the shares of the mines held by the multinational. In May 2020, Acacia Mine paid 10 million USD to the government to end the dispute as the first tranche of the 300 million USD. However, this anti-corruption policy has also frightened investors, who now fear they will have to deal with Tanzanian justice and weakened growth. According to Zitto Kabwe, one of the leaders of opposition Alliance for Change and Transparency, which act with one of the highest economic growth rates on the African continent, 5.8% in 2018, and an estimated 6% for 2019, according to the IMF. The Tanzanian government is embarked on a vast program of infrastructure development, particularly rail infrastructure. The small fishing port of Bagamoyo, to which 10 billion USD of investment have been allocated, is expected to become the largest port in Africa by 2030. Magufuli's government worked on various infrastructure projects targeting economic development. Projects include the addition of half a dozen Air Tanzania planes as a way of reviving the national carrier, the expansion of Terminal 3 of Julius Nyerere International Airport, construction of Tanzania Standard Gauge Railway, Mfugale Flyover, Julius Nyerere Hydropower Station, Ubungo Interchange, New Seranda Bridge, Kigongo Busisi Bridge, Huduma Bora za Alpha, Vito Bora za Alpha, expansion of Port of Dar es Salaam, Dodoma Bus Terminal, liquefying natural gas plant, water project, wind farm project, Uhuru Hospital project, gold refinery plant, and Magufuli Bus Terminal. Magufuli received the nickname "the bulldozer" in reference to his roadworks project, but the term was also used about his move to reduce spending and corruption within the government. Following Magufuli's initial rounds of cuts post-inauguration, the hashtag "What would Magufuli do?" was used by Twitter users to dominate their own austerity measures inspired by the president. These policies are usually on a continent where, in general, corruption and embezzlement of public funds are a way of life in ruling circles, according to the daily The Citizen. Magufuli's government was accused of repressing opposition to his leadership, including laws restricting opposition rallies, the suspension of Swahili language Maiwo newspaper in 2016 for publishing false and inflammatory reports regarding nullification of election results in Zanzibar, threatening to shut down radio and television stations that did not pay license fee, and a 2018 bill requiring blogs and other forms of online content providers to hold government licenses with content restriction. Magufuli's ban on opposition rallies stands for 6 years until January 2023. A devout Roman Catholic, he was publicly criticized by the Tanzanian Episcopal Conference for taking measures that suppress constitutional freedom and, in a view of the bishops, represent a threat to national unity. He has condemned the attempted assassination of opposition leader Tundu Lissu and said he was praying for his recovery. People in Tanzania have been arrested for cyberbullying the president. People convicted of same-sex relations in Tanzania can be jailed for up to 30 years. In October 2016, the government banned HIV/AIDS outreach project and closed the US-funded program that provides HIV testing, condom, and medical care to the gay community. The country-wide closure of private HIV clinics began soon afterward. In late 2018, Magufuli initiated a nationwide crackdown, threatening to arrest and deport anyone campaigning for gay rights and make it difficult to find a lawyer who will defend cases of violence against LGBTQ people. Paul Makonda, Magufuli's regional commissioner for Dar es Salaam, stated in 2016, if there is a homosexual who has a Facebook account or with an Instagram account, or those who follow him, it's very clear that they are just as guilty as the homosexual. 2 years later, he announced that a committee of 17 members consists of police, lawyers, doctors have been formed to identify homosexuals. Within 1 day of announcement, the authority reported received 5,763 messages from the public with more than 100 names. Hamis Kigwangala, the country's deputy health minister, said he supports the use of annual exam to prove whether someone is having gay sex. The test is widely considered to be a violation of human rights by medical experts. In September 2018, Magufuli told a rally, those going for family planning are lazy. They are afraid they will not be able to feed their children. They do not want to work hard to feed a large family, and that is why they adopt for birth control and end up with 1 or 2 children. We urge people not to listen to those advertising about birth control, some of it coming from foreigners, before it has sinister motives. The statement has drawn critics from Amnesty International and others. In July 2019, Magufuli urged women to set your ovaries free. Despite his opinion on contraception, Magufuli has shown support for decades-old law which permits schools to expel pregnant students, stating that he believes after getting pregnant, you are done. Magufuli promoted COVID-19 misinformation and misinformation related to vaccination during the pandemic in Tanzania. Magufuli spoke against the possibility of closing churches, stating that's where there is a true healing. Corona is the devil and it cannot survive in the body of Jesus, reported the Economist in March 2020. By May 2020, Magufuli and Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Paul Makonde announced that the disease have been defeated by national prayer and called for the public celebration. The corona disease have been eliminated thanks to God. Magufuli told the church congregation in Dodoma, the country's capital. The World Health Organization has questioned the government's approach to COVID-19. Magufuli instructed security forces to blindly test coronavirus CPR test kit for quality on goats, papaya, sheep, and motor oil. All of them, he said, have been found to be positive for COVID-19. The last official data on the coronavirus in Tanzania under President Magufuli was published in late April 2020. Magufuli has dismissed the head of National Laboratory and Distribution of Non-Government Information on the spread of virus had become a crime. He disputed the effectiveness of face masks and testing. In July 2020, regulations were introduced to forbid the publication of information with regards to the outbreak of deadly or contagious disease in a country or elsewhere without approval of respective authorities, with fines for breaches. As a result, many doctors felt that they were unable to officially diagnose COVID-19 out of fear of the government. Magufuli said in January 2021 speech, vaccinations are dangerous. If white people were able to come up with vaccination, a vaccination for AIDS would have been found. Instead, Magufuli argued steam inhalation and herbal medicine, neither of which is approved by WHO for treatment of COVID. However, Magufuli partially changed his position in the next month after months of discouraging their use. He publicly asked Tanzanians to put on a mask as a precaution measure against COVID-19. At the same time, he conditioned that only Tanzanian-made masks should be used. Magufuli had not been seen in public since 27 February 2021, and the rumors whirled online that he was sick and possibly incapacitated from illness. A Kenyan newspaper reported on 10 March 2021 that an African leader was being treated for COVID-19 at a hospital in Nairobi, leading to speculation that it could be President Magufuli. Opposition politician Tundu Lissu, citing an unnamed source but without providing evidence, saying it was Magufuli who was hospitalized having contracted COVID-19. He further claimed that there were plans to move Magufuli to India. Lissu later claimed that Magufuli has died by 10 March. On the night of 17 March 2021, Vice President Samia Suluhu announced Magufuli has died at 6 p.m. East African Time, 15 or at 3:15 UTC at Emilio Nzena Memorial Hospital in Dar es Salaam, where he was receiving treatment. He was the only president of Tanzania to die in office. She did not specify Magufuli's underlying illness but said that he had suffered from chronic atrial fibrillation for more than a decade. She announced 14 days of national mourning and said that Tanzania would fly at half staff nationwide. Despite Suluhu's focus on Magufuli's heart problems, speculation continued that he had died from COVID-19. Magufuli's body laid in state at Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam on 20th March 2021. The next day, mourners hoping to view his body crowded into stadium, many climbing a wall, which collapsed, resulted in a human stampede that left at least 49 people dead. Uganda declared 14 days of national mourning. Rwanda announced 9 days of mourning. Kenya and Burundi announced 7 days of mourning. Mozambique announced 5 days of mourning. The Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan declared 3 days of mourning. Cuba and Zambia declared 1 day of mourning. Magufuli was buried in his hometown of Chato at 26 March 2021. He was married to the Janet Magufuli, a primary school teacher with whom he had 7 children. In 2020, he was given Top Tanzanian Assemblies of God Award. In 2019, University of Dodoma gave him an honorary doctorate. Thank you for being with us today. We have focused about Raisi, His Excellency John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, who was in office from 5th November 2015 to 17th March 2021. His Prime Minister was Kassim Majaliwa, Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan, preceded by Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, succeeded by his Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan. Chairman of South African Development Community SADC in office 17 August 2019 to 17 August 2020, preceded by Haj Jaibo, succeeded by Philip Nyusi of Mozambique. He was Minister of Work, Transport and Communication in office 28 November 2010 to 5th November 2015. Prime Minister of that time was Mizengo Pinda, preceded by Shukuru Kawambwa, succeeded by Kame Mbarawa. In office November 2021, in November 2002, 21st December 2005, under the Prime Minister Frederick Sumaye, succeeded by Basir Muramba. He was the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries Development in office 13th February 2018 to 6th November 2010. Under the Minister Mizengo Pinda, preceded Anthony Diallo and succeeded by David Matao David. Minister of Lands and Human Resources in office 6th January 2006 to 13th February 2008. Under the Prime Minister Edward Lowassa, succeeded by John Chirigati. Member of Parliament for Biharamulo East and Chato in office November 1995 to July 2015, preceded by Medad Karemani. Personal details. Born John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, born 29 October 1959, Chato, Tanganyika, now Tanzania. Died 17th March 2021 at the age of 61, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Cause of death, officially artillery fibrillation. Political party, Chama cha Mapinduzi, CCM. Spouse, Janet Magufuli. Together with 7 kids. Studied in University of Dar es Salaam. Bachelor of Science, Masters of Science and PhD. He was the head of state Tanzania, started in 1983 to be active in politics. Thank you very much for being with us, and rest in peace, President John Pombe Magufuli. Thank you very much for being with us, and see you in the other upcoming videos. Bye.